Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, the craziness of Christmas is done, and I'm looking at a really big stack of books. I don't think I thought it was going to be quite this many, but it's a lot, so get you something to drink and settle in, because this is going to be a long haul. It really is. Okay, so the first one is a kind of hilarious coincidence. And that is, I got 2 copies of the Bookshop book by Jen Campbell. I'm really looking forward to reading these, or just the 1 copy. And I will be at some point, probably in January, doing a giveaway on my channel for the other one, because I know this is going to be amazing and I want to share the love, and I don't need 2 copies of it. I mean, I'm glad, because that means that my family supports Jen, so that. One of those came from my aunt, and from that same aunt, she got me this gorgeous book. Like, I can't even tell you. It's The Art and Craft of Tea, and it is so beautiful. It's got all of this it's got beautiful pictures, and then it's also got just tons of information, so about the effects that the water you use has on it. It talks about the terroir, or the terrain. It talks about the different types of tea, and then in the back it has some different so methods of brewing tea brewing vessels. It also has different things like Persian rose tea, just different recipes for different kind of spices to put with teas to make different cultural teas. So this is incredible. I am so excited to read this, and I am sure I will be sharing much more about it after I do read it. And then, of course, along with the Bookshop book, I got More Weird Things Customers Say in Bookshops. I got the first one, Weird Things Customers Say in Bookshops, I want to say 2 Christmases ago, and it was hilarious and I loved it, and I kept meaning to get this one, and finally did. So yes, definitely looking forward to reading this. So then a couple of things that were on my Amazon wish list. I had Your Heart is a Muscle the Size of a Fist by Sunil Yapa on there, because I just absolutely adored this book and I wanted to own it, and specifically this one because it is absolutely stunning. I talked about this in my beautiful covers video, but it's just gorgeous and I love a yellow book, and this was one of my favorite books this year, so I wanted to own that. And then I got The Hottest Dishes of the Tartar Cuisine by Elena Bronsky, and this is translated from German by Tim Moore. He actually translated the other Elena Bronsky book that I read recently, and I really enjoyed that one. It wasn't one of my favorites, but I'm looking forward to reading this because it's a longer book, and I thought the other book was good, but it suffered because of how short it was. So I'm looking forward to this, and it is a beautiful Europa edition. Speaking of beautiful editions, I have another one of the Hogarth Shakespeare editions. This is Ann Tyler's Vinegar Girl, and I love these because of the kind of small, they're like paperback sized hardcovers. I love this, and this is the retelling of The Taming of the Shrew, and I am really excited to read this and to get into Ann Tyler. I talked about her a little bit in another video that I did, and so yeah, this was something that was high on my list of wants. Another author I recently talked about is Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, and I got Half of a Yellow Sun, which I am so excited to read. I adore her and her writing, and I've been wanting to pick up more and more and more, and this was on my wish list, so I'm glad I got this one. So speaking of Shakespeare, I got the book Hagseed in the Muse Monthly box earlier this year, and it is a retelling of The Tempest. It's a retelling of The Tempest, so I wanted to read The Tempest first, and so I asked for the Pelican Shakespeare edition of The Tempest, and of course, absolutely incredibly beautiful as these books are. I swear to you, I'm gonna collect them all. And yeah, so I'm going to be reading that before I read Hagseed, and I am hoping to get the Pelican edition of The Taming of the Shrew, because I actually have not read the play, so I want to get that before I read Vinegar Girl. And a book I actually own but have been hesitant to pick up because it's one of those that has that really musty smell that I don't do really well with. So I tend to, you know, kind of steer clear of those books on my shelf, but it's one I really want to read because it is by a Hollins author, and that is Pilgrim at Tinker Creek by Annie Dillard. And I love, love, love this edition. These are the Harper Perennial Olive editions that have the gorgeous spines, and are just so whimsical and beautiful, and they're floppy, which I love in a paperback. I have Anne Patchett's State of Wonder in this edition too, and yeah, gorgeous. And I'm very excited to eventually get to this one. Now, a few graphic novels that I picked up. I think I've read all 3 of these, but Giant Days, volumes 1 through 3. These are the ones that are out in actual bind-ups so far. This is hands down my favorite graphic novel series. Just gonna go ahead and say it. They are amazing, and the art in these is so good. It's right up my alley, and the story is so freaking cute. It's, I don't know, like, look at the art on that. It's so good. And it takes me right back to college and my girlfriends, and it's just, it's funny, it's, you know, it gets you in the heart, and it's just a really good story about friendship and, you know, college, and just, yeah, glad to have these. And then I have the volumes 3, 4, and 5 of Lumberjanes. I have 2 and 3 somewhere over there. I can see them. I have 2 and 3, and I've actually only read the first 2 bind-ups, so I'm very excited to get to these probably early in the year, or, you know, during the first readathon. But I really have enjoyed Lumberjanes. I think that, again, the art style in this is so good. It's really beautiful. And the stories are great. It is just such good stories about friendship, and it's got amazing, you know, diverse characters who are just wonderful and lovely, and makes me happy because lady friendships. So a book that I got from my husband that is just gorgeous is from a company called Easton Press, and if you've never checked out their website, you definitely should, because they do these amazing, like, antique looking leather-bound foil books. And he got me this gorgeous copy of The Martian, and it is stunning. Like, it's leather-bound. It has gold pages, and it's just such an incredible looking book. It's actually signed, and it came with a certificate, which I thought was kind of funny. It's like an authentication certificate that it was signed. But, you know, it's gorgeous. It's really, really just well put together and well thought out. It has these, like, stunning pages that I guess you can kind of see how they're metallic, but they feel really cool. But yeah, these are gorgeous. There's also a edition of this that is Ready Player One, which I definitely want to get. But these are, you know, absolute collector's items. I think it does go without saying that I got this. This is my absolute favorite Harry Potter book, and I just sat on the floor and looked through it like I was a child again. And I'm so happy they're doing this, and I can't wait for the rest of these to come out, though I'm like, how big is the 5th book gonna be? Like, this thing is heavy, and the 2nd book is not that long, so it's gorgeous. Everybody has, you know, seen and talked about this, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on it, but just love it. So there are actually 2 more graphic novels in this Christmas haul. There is The Complete Moss, which is beautiful. I actually read this during Dewey, so I have actually read this, but it's such a touching and, like, wonderfully done story that I really wanted to own it. It is a graphic memoir by Art Spiegelman of his father's time during the Second World War and in a concentration camp, and they are mice and cats, and it's really fantastic. And then the last graphic novel is Honor Girl, which I heard about. I can't remember who recommended this, but it sounded like it is a story about summer camp, and I think there is a either a lesbian or bisexual romance in this, which I think is going to be really, really interesting. It's supposed to be really well done, and I just love, it has that kind of like cartoony feel, a little bit like Lumberjanes, but more, you know, sketched, and it just looks so beautiful. So definitely looking forward to this one. And a few more really stunning books. So I have Helen Oyeyemi's What Is Not Yours Is Not Yours, and this is one of the UK editions. It's not the one with the stitched spine, but it's just a naked hardback, and it has the foiling, and I just think this is so beautiful, and I love the size of it, and I am looking forward to reading this early in the year because I'm going to be doing a project that has to do with short stories, and I have heard nothing but amazing things about this short story collection, so I've been meaning to read it forever. I actually checked it out of the library and had it for like a month and a half and didn't get around to reading it. So I'm definitely going to get around to reading it at the beginning of this year. And then 2 books by YouTubers that I picked up. This is The Luxe Life by Fleur of Fleur de Force, and I really enjoyed her first book. I felt like it was very Kate Spade-esque, and I wanted to get another one. I also just absolutely love supporting her because she's so amazing and genuine, and I love her channels. This is gorgeous with the rose gold spine, which if you watch her channel at all is so very her. And I just think that this book is so classy looking, and the inside is gorgeous, and I just can't wait to read more about it, about her kind of like style. Another one by a YouTuber is Bloom, and this is by Estee Lalonde, who is, like I said, a beauty YouTuber. This book is so gorgeous. It is just like, it has this kind of that buttery feel here, and then this is like a fabric. It's gorgeous, and then it has the foiling on the sides, and the inside is really gorgeous too. It's got, you know, different colors, and it's just really, I don't know, aesthetically appealing. And it's a bunch of, it looks like essays that she's written, and just hearing her talk about this and her passion about wanting to write a book, but waiting for the right opportunity is amazing, and I can't wait to get into this. I kind of hope she does an audiobook because I would love to hear her read her own essays, kind of like Hannah Hart. So yeah, these are both beautiful books by YouTubers that I love supporting. Now, if that wasn't ridiculous enough, this is gonna get ridiculous. So, as many of you might know, I have read the first 2 series in the Robin Hobb Realm of the Elderlings overarching fantasy epic, and I have never owned them because I listened to them on audiobook. So I've always been holding out for the UK editions because the United States ones are very typical fantasy covers, and the UK ones are gorgeous, like absolute works of art. And I know you've probably seen them around YouTube, but I asked for them for Christmas, and boy did my mother deliver. So I have the first 3 books in the first series, so gorgeous, amazing, love them. And then I also have the 3 books in the Live Ship Traders series, which, holy crap, no wonder these books were like 37 hours long, because they're huge. I mean, massive, but they're so absolutely stunning, and I cannot get over it. I am just, seeing them in person is so much better than looking at them on other people's channels. And then she actually got me the next 2 series or yeah, trilogies. Well, one of them's got 4 books. The next 2 sets of books in that series. So Fool's Fate, Fool's Errand, and Golden Fool. Again, absolutely amazing. And then last but not least is I think this is the Rainwild Chronicles, and it is Blood of Dragons, City of Dragons, Dragon Haven, and Dragon Keeper. So I'm so excited. Like, I wish you could see the crazy pile that is like up here on me. It's like right below the camera lens. That's how many books. So yeah, thankfully a lot of them I actually have already read, so it's not adding a whole lot of books to my physical TBR. It's still ridiculous though. I mean, at some point there's not going to be any room, and I'm pretty sure we've reached that point. So I'm not going on a book buying ban in 2017, but I'm going to scale back the book buying and do a little more reading of my own damn books. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed your Christmas and you got some wonderful reading material for the upcoming year. And yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts on any of these books if you have read them. I would be totally down for buddy reading any of these if you guys are interested, and definitely share if you know any upcoming readathons, because I'm gonna need them. Anyways, I will talk to you guys in the comments. I love you. Again, I hope you had a wonderful Christmas, and I'll see you next time. So, those are the books. There's a lot of them. At some point my camera cut off because I was talking too long. What?
Hi.
Hi.
I found some things out about our cats with my infrared camera.
Look at this.
That's a big stack of books. Einstein is better insulated than the other 2 cats because he's fluffier.
Because he's got so much freaking fur.
And also cat buttholes are very warm. That is all.
I have nothing to say to that.